let's say in quotes, the head girl is saying, they basically follow and they're hell bent on it. I don't remember the number of people whom I met, and everybody was like, "Oh, I don't like this person because she's this," and word for word, I kid you not, all of their utterances were not based off on what they watched, but then what they saw on clips on TikTok. Because when you ask them for examples, every word that they muttered was literally from a TikTok video. And so that's the kind of power that the media has. And so for me, it's very interesting to see the teams that actually have like PR machines. I think whenever I'm lecturing, whenever I have the opportunity to lecture on PR, there's one example that kills me. Not only kills me, then it tickles my fancy, and that's Lekon. Lekon won based off on pure PR, and that's genius. I can't. You can hit the player, but you cannot hit the game. Lekon was a product of 110% PR, and that's how it works. You basically use the platforms that reaches out to the masses to your advantage, and that is how it's played, regardless of anything. So, in as much as the housemates are playing their games in the house, you have to play that role outside here. And it started off with bias handler, and I'll play devil's advocate here. The person who was handling her page managed to steer conversations to her advantage. And so that's when the media picked it up because it was one word. That word, bully, came from bias handler. And that's how everybody started picking up the word bully, bully. And it spread like wildfire. And then I kid you not, to tell you how gullible Facebook people are, you just need to cook a story, regardless of if it's the truth or not, and put on a popular page on Facebook. And everybody is buying it. They don't care to know, to actually watch the or know the truth. They just know that when it's on this page and anybody who tweets on this particular page or group, it's true, then it's facts to them and they don't care. And so the tribe was smart enough to cook lies against other people and put there. You cannot hate the game. I mean, I always play clean, but then you have to also admire the machine that was working behind and putting her in that spotlight to win. And clearly this year there was nothing like popularity or the streets. You could see that there was literally nothing like the streets. But the
Yeah,
hardest
yeah.
hitting
I want to actually, yeah, I want to talk that stuff about the streets. The streets had nothing to do with this, guys. Okay, I think we
nothing.
can leave that. The streets had nothing to
Nothing.
do with
The
this.
streets had
So,
nothing because even when you went down to the streets and you asked them if they were voting, they would literally call different names, but then they didn't even know how to vote to start with, right? And so there was nothing like the streets. The streets were neutral, so it was your game to play it or lose it. And it just blows my mind how much PR went on from different angles, and the
yeah.
media was
Okay.
and the media
Okay.
was
Let
using
me
every
just let me just say something here, right? Regarding the media and regarding PR, to be fair, every single housemate had PR this season. Every single one of them. From the people that you think are the underdogs, the people that you think are the top dogs, all of them knew they were going into the house and they spoke to people and they got people on their side. So everybody had the PR. Now the question is, who can sell the narrative better? On top of that, who do we think that can play into the Nigerian audience the most? Who can take advantage of those moments where you can just capture an audience and they'll just run with you, right? Who had the most opportunities to do that? That's just how it is. So everybody had media. Mercy is a good example of that. Mercy literally was one of the safest players this season, right? She went from being a top contender in the first week, right, to dropping, as the week progressed. Then the final week, back to the top again without really doing a lot. How was she able to do that? Because she had a machine behind her. She had things in place. She put in the work. She made sure that, okay, I'm going to go to the house. I don't want to have to do too much to capture the audience. I don't want to like risk the image I've built. I don't want to risk my brand. I want to be just floating, but I still want to make it there. So how can I achieve this? Set everything in stone. She even mentioned these names when she was on the TV. She talked about these things. So that is a good example of, media, right? And this is also another example I want to give. And some people might agree and some people might disagree, right? I'm not really like a big fan of this person. But a very good example of how the media twist things is how people have managed to make Alex a bully. Was a lot of things in that house. You can say pretentious, you can say conniving, you can say, say one thing here or another thing there, but she wasn't a bully. She never exercised any bullying tendencies in that house from the beginning of the show to the end. But now outside, the narrative have changed, and Alex is suddenly the big, bad, hefty bully, which is not true. And people actually believe that. People have bought into those narratives because it's being sold. So, thank you for coming to my TED talk. Let's just move to the next person. But yeah,
Green, if you can hear Green, are you here? If you can hear us, you have the mic. Green. Moving on to Fresh by Tribe.
Oh, all right, thank you. First of all, I would say Ilebe has won, so all this is just banter because she's won. We can't take the 120 million off her. She played the best game. She won. And again, people keep saying Nigerians this, Nigerians that. Yeah, the show is based in Nigeria, but not Nigerians voted. I don't understand this whole Nigerian. There are a lot of South Africans that watch this show, a lot of Liberians, a lot of I don't know, Cameroonians, a lot of countries I don't even know in Africa. Sierra Leoneans all that voted for people to win. So let's kill this narrative about Nigerians this, Nigerian that. And I think people saying, oh, she was poking or whatever. Look, this is a viewer's choice game. The viewers, you play the viewers to get votes. That's how it is. So people saying, oh, you're playing emotions or whatever. Let's dead that talk. If I go to America or something and the audiences are going to me pulling wigs and everything, I'll pull wigs to get votes. That's what the audience wants for me to win. It's a competition. I won't go there and say, well, I'm a good girl, I'm a brand, whatever. Let me tell you, anyone, emotion or not, they'll still have to get brands. The size might be different, but they'll still get like a lot of what's it called endorsement and all that. So let's kill this narrative that they won't get brands, they kill the image and everything. And coming about the camera, looking at some people and different people, whatever. The camera will focus on drama. If you're not giving drama, they won't focus on you. That's just reality. And to me, sorry, Messi wasn't giving drama. She wasn't giving what they needed. So why would they put the camera on her if she was just sitting there and talking about God knows what she was talking about? You have to give that drama and everything to get camera screen time and everything. And someone said Eliba's handler mentioned bullying. Can you point post it in the comment section where Eliba handler ever said bullying in any of our social media? Because I've never ever seen the handler use that word bullying or bully or any kind of form it comes in. She's never ever, the person, I don't know if he or she, used that term. So let's not stop lying here. Let's stop lying here, sorry. So another thing I want to point again is people saying, oh, you came with a script or you playing the game, blah, blah. They all came to play a game. Like I said again, they all came to play a game. The best game of won. I don't care if you use emotion. I don't care if you go in there and you cry every day and you won. That's part of the game. Go there and win your money. And people talking here, if you want to go for Real the next year, go there and do what's going to make you win. Learn from this. If you're going to go there and cry and play the pity game and win the money. You're there to win the money, not to like be, I don't know what you're trying to be, Angel Gabriel or whatever. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Essay, go ahead, Essay. Comrade, let me know when you're ready to
Sorry,
speak.
we were
The mommy
here
has been here
before
though.
though,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Sorry.
hold on.
Go ahead, mommy.
because I'm confused.
Cynthia is never the story, so please pardon her.
Hi guys. Just a couple of things because I feel like there's been a lot of conversations going around, and people, because a lot of people are going based off quote unquote assumptions, and we need to go based on facts because we can all come here and make assumptions, but at the end of the day, it's facts that would prove why the voting is that way. First point first, someone made a comment saying producers were engineering and not showing certain times. Do people actually even know what cameras Big Brother uses? Has anyone even bothered to research what cameras Big Brother use and why sometimes when people are in the middle of the conversation it switches? That's one thing you need to ask yourself because if we're being realistic,
I mean, yeah, we know that the camera switches is automatic. That the ad breaks are automatic. We know that, but they still have total
no,
control on
yeah,
what they
I'm
want to
getting to
show and
that.
what
I'm
they don't
getting to
want to
that.
show.
So when you watch Big Brother,
Okay.
the franchise itself, they use a P2Z camera. What that means is those cameras are set at a particular time speed. Okay. So the person that brought up the Alex and Paris situation, if Big Brother deliberately did not want to show you guys what had happened prior to the whole situation, I don't think Big Brother would have made the editor's cut to then show the beginning of what started it. That's what you should know. If Big Brother was going to commit to pushing the narrative of not showing what started that conflict, then Big Brother had every control to not give you the editor's cut when he showed it in the living room. The reason why Big Brother is
No, I don't think that really changes anything. The fact that they showed it when it was time to give us strikes, but the narratives have already formed. Like we already know what happened. People already formed assumptions.
Yeah, I'm
Things
not
are already
talking about the
escalated by
narrative.
then. So
Because the narrative is really really based on the human beings, not what the cameras give you. Because there are a lot of different personalities in there, and I chose who to support based on who I actually identify with. I didn't choose who to support based on whatever the public was saying or whatever the narrative was. Because if I was going based on narrative, I would have never ever supported who I supported. So
yeah, but we know that, but we're saying how the storylines are shaped. Obviously, people will still
And
support who
that's
they want
fine.
to
I'm not
support, and I
even
think that
talking
that was
about
mentioned here.
storylines. I'm talking about the fact that it might seem as though it's being engineered. Because when you watch a normal reality show, what people don't know is they film it, then they go to the editor's room to cut and paste and then create a whole narrative, right? This is a 24-hour around the clock show. What that means is when you're using the P2Z camera, when it's time for the camera to flip, it will flip regardless. And that's why sometimes you can hear conversations, but you can't really see the scenes. That's how the camera works. Now, when an altercation happens, Big Brother can now go back, choose whatever camera was in that room and look at it from the beginning to end, edit it and show it to the housemates. That's one. Secondly, if we're actually looking at the percentages, right? The top three, if we're looking at the percentages in the voting, it really wasn't far off. It really wasn't far off. So it's not a surprise that someone can overtake, another person can, lead the poll. And then because if I'm looking at the percentages, at least the first 4 or 5 weeks where the top three were all up, most of the time there was a week where CC was above by A, right? And was only by like 0.03. That's what people are not taking into consideration. The times where Messi is like a little bit higher, it was really by a small percentage. Down to the finals, the percentage between Messi and Cece was really less than 1%. I don't think people are paying attention to the percentages. Just because someone is leading doesn't mean they were leading by a higher percentage. Some of these percentages.
No, we are no. We talked about the name and the percentage. We know how it was close. We know all of that. We know that even in week 5, when Angel topped and she was 28%, the difference between Angel and Adekunle was literally less than 1%. Angel was 28.16, Adekunle was 28.14. So we saw the percentage. We know that it wasn't far off.
Yeah, but I'm
So
actually
yeah.
not addressing. I'm addressing the person that came before Fresh that said, why are they topping on certain weeks and then all of a sudden not topping? So that's who I'm addressing. That they're not actually paying attention to the percentage, because when you pay attention to the percentage, it's really not far off. So that's what I'm talking about. Secondly, I don't understand that people are questioning Ilabaye's vote. The whole narrative was that she had arrivals, yes or no. The whole narrative was that people were voting for her and seeking PT votes, and that was what was making a lot of people arise for her. Permit me to ask, when people arise for you, does that not add to the population? Every week when people are rising for you, does the population not increase? So if we're going to stick to one narrative, let's make sure we stick to the narrative to the end. If this person has arises, like you guys claim, then why is it so surprising that this person is capable of winning? That's what I don't understand, because everyone is shocked
Um.
that
Yeah.
she's
I
Okay.
winning.
mean, I feel like when Frank spoke, we did mention how him saying that he doesn't believe the results are real, we all kind of laughed at it. So I feel like if people think that multi-choice will doctor up results, I mean, it's their prerogative to feel that way, But for me, I'm not surprised. I feel like a lot of us knew what was
And
going
with
to
the
happen, so
e-voting
I don't
system,
think we're
right? With
shocked,
e-voting system, you
So
cannot doctor digital votes. You cannot do that. It's impossible. The only thing you can do is have someone in the system who will perhaps tell you when some so and so is voting, so you can triple your effort or double your effort. It's impossible. There still has never been.
that's still a breach, though. That's
No,
still a
I know
breach
it's
that
still a
multi-choice needs
breach,
to work
but
on.
when people say things like, oh, like the company, I'm not talking about the personnel
You
that
know
work
what?
for the company.
I get that, but I'm not going to like fight people that if they want to question it, that's their prerogative. If they feel like they saw that or they felt that the show was biased to a certain degree, let them think that. You know
No,
what I mean? Who am I
I'm
to
not here
tell you that
to,
no, it's
obviously,
impossible?
I'm not here to,
So I know you're not, but I'm just saying that when people say that, oh, they feel like it's doctored, they feel like multi-choice likes certain people, yada yada yada. This happens year in, year out. This is not new.
yeah, yeah, I get
We
what you're
have these
saying.
conversations every
Yeah, I'm
season.
not here to,
So
truth be told, after seeing the percentages, I am not even here to convince anyone. I'm just here to give a rebuttal. So for me, the way I see it, the people chose. And when we talk about people, we're speaking about people outside of Nigeria because I knew people that weren't even Africans and were paying attention based on the way social media algorithm was. So to then presume that it was only Nigerians that voted is unfair to us that are non-Nigerians because even if you paid attention to countries outside of Nigeria, they're the ones that even went harder. So for me, I am not surprised. If let's say the percentage was very
wait,
far
wait,
off.
wait, 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 wait. Are you saying that you think that the voting results from other countries, right, whether it's the diaspora or other African countries, are probably more than the voting that came from Nigeria
Well,
regarding these results? Is
I
that what you're
cannot
saying?
speak on the percentages of the voting
So,
based on country, right? But what I
okay,
can say
so we
is,
can't say that
Cynthia,
we
if I
can't say
can
that
finish,
people outside the
sorry.
country came
I'm not
harder.
saying they came harder and hence why. What I'm saying is the more people you have, the more votes you accumulate. Point being, if majority of your votes stay in Nigeria and a person has half of that vote but has 10 other countries vote, you wouldn't be surprised if their vote is close to yours. That's what I'm saying. I obviously don't have access to the digital voting, so I cannot come here and say which country votes more. I can only go based on logic, which is the more people you have, the more votes you have. So I'm thinking logically, if I have multiple countries voting for me and the numbers are proven in multiple countries outside of Nigeria, then it's not a shock to me that someone like that can actually top post, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Thank
thank
you.
you. There's something that you said that I want to add some. I don't even want to rebut, but I want to say something about it concerning the cameras being used and everything, and the cameras flipping on their own and whatever. Even if it's an automatic camera, whether it's automated, whatever it is, the production has manual control over them. They can, if you've been in a production room before, the cameras are numbered. We have camera one, camera two, camera three, camera four, camera five. And so you would hear the production, whoever is in charge, say, pan, let's say, they are having let's say, let me use my favorite, let's say, Angel and Mercy are having a conversation in the dining area, and they decide to, and it's quite interesting, they want us to, you know um continue with the flow of it, and they decide to move from the dining area to, let's say, the bedroom. If there's camera two in the dining area and in the bedroom you have camera five, you hear them at pan, so you can actually, sometimes the house may say, you can actually see and hear the cameras turn, and that is how
I'm
the
following
No,
them.
so what
exactly,
I was
that's how
saying
you
is I
know.
was actually
As just
reporting.
I mean, just a minute, because just a minute. So, in as much as the cameras may be automated, in as much as they may have, I think what you're saying can actually work when they're sleeping. When they're sleeping, when the housemates are sleeping, and then production wants to decrease the human labor force. Have them also rest. They can decide to, let's say, automate it every 10 minutes, pan, or every 5 minutes, pan from bedroom one to bedroom two. That can be done. But in terms of driving a conversation or driving a narrative, they have absolute control over what is shown to ask at what time?
No,
I
no,
just want to
I
clear that.
wasn't. So,
Absolute control.
like I said
Absolute.
before, I was actually referring to the person that said, "Why didn't production show when Pere was yanking the bed?" And that was when I was saying, if
No, that's not what the person said. The person said that we didn't see the beginning
yes,
of when Alex
sorry,
took the
sorry.
duvets and took it to
So
the
the
kitchen.
person said they didn't see the beginning of Alex and Perez conflict. And that was where I was saying that sometimes production does not have control of when the camera starts filming. Of course, they have absolute control of flipping in between and doing what they had to do. I was just saying to the person that said, why didn't Big Brother show that? It's when I was saying if Big Brother really wanted to push a narrative, they wouldn't have shown the beginning in the lounge either.
Mm.
I don't even agree with that either. That if he wanted to push a narrative, he wouldn't have shown us on the.
Mm.
I really don't believe that either. But let's just
Yeah.
move on. Comrade, go ahead.
Comrade, can you hear us? Okay, whilst he gathers
Chelsea,
his
can you hear
thoughts,
me?
Panache. Okay, we can hear
Oh,
you
okay,
now.
all right. Thank you. Hi, Cynthia, how you doing?
Hey, comrade.
How you day? All right, interesting. I mean, the space is to analyze the voting results, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So yeah.
Because
So
I've been seeing lots of, you know, I don't let me be civil with you too. Lots of people coming here to refute what people are saying, policing people's opinions and all of that, and I'm like, yo, is this even necessary? But it's fine. Everyone can come up and say their opinions, and just to put it out there. No, I don't really think anyone is coming here to speak on facts. I think a lot of us, including myself, are also coming here to speak, based on our perception, based on personal analysis and opinions on what we watched on the show, as against the result that were released today. So it is simple and straightforward. Speaking of, there are no facts anyway. We all have our perceptions, we have our own personal analysis, which is okay. I mean, we also, kind of infiltrate certain level of emotions as well when we speak. That being said, the voting result, personally, I don't really fuck with these results. I think I need to put it out there. I really don't care. But the show has ended, the winner has won, everyone has moved on. But I think the whole lesson is just to come and reminisce on how we perceived the results to have moved from the first week down to the finale. Interestingly, on seeing the voting result, the first week, Mercy Eke topped. No surprises, apparently. The first female winner, she has a solid fan base, Mercenaries. I don't even think at any point in time anyone will question, that fact. And Sissy coming up in second position, also Spartans, OG, of course. Both of them, they've been there. And rightfully, from the get-go, a lot of people actually predicted them, as people going far in the game, including, I think, Pere and maybe a little bit of White Money. But then, Alex was part of the top 5 in round 1, which is week 2 particularly, to be clear. And that simply shows, I think she was third actually, and that shows she also have a very, very solid standing in terms of a fan base in that particular week. Then moving on to week 2, there was a change to Sissy, Ilebaye, Messi, right? So I think there seems to be very, very strong, competition between these two people. Alex also kind of featured as well. And Adekunle has also kind of been very, very consistent. And I definitely need to say the changes in the results is also based off the events happening in the house and how a lot of people actually perceived, the occurrences of the show outside the house. You are not going to exclude that. And let me put it out there. The fan bases of the season are explicitly known from the first week 1 and the week 2 results. If you want to know Housemates that are strong, Housemates that they can stand alone with no alliance, the week 1 and week 2 give it all out. And it is clear, even from these results, even though I'm not a fan of whatever they've released, I believe it has been cooked to their satisfaction, right? But it is really what it is. It's a show for a reason. Then seeing how Alex moved from, that week 4 to when she was evicted, a lot of things has literally played in there. I'm not sure, I can't really speak exactly on what happened. I can't really say exactly the events or circumstances that warranted, deep into that level. But I just felt maybe in terms of storylines as well, possibly she doesn't really have much. As at the time Prince came into the house and, she was just Prince Buddy enjoying themselves and all of that. For Ilebaye, you will say that the week she topped, which was the round 3, which was the week 4, was the week Ike trashed her clothes in the toilets. That was a very triggering week for everyone, including myself. I'm not really a fan. I really don't care about her, but that week was literally triggering. Especially when you watch that scene on your screen. If you're sitting at home and you watch the screen when Big Brother was playing the clip, the way she was crying, and a lot of emotions from the rest of the housemates, Tolani Badge, and the rest, it's definitely normal for people to arise for her and support her at that point in time. And that was the week that sealed everything. That week 4. Go and check the result again, round 3, which is the week 4. And you would see from that time, based on the result they released again, she was literally topping anytime she was up. So it is definitely reasonable to conclude that the impact of the activities in the house, based on the bully narrative, that occurred on the TL, also significantly influenced the results going forward for that particular week. And it is really what it is. She won in the finale. Soma is also an interesting housemate that I really didn't see coming. Soma gang, they seems really strong even from the get-go. And I was shocked. I am really shocked. I'm like, how did Soma manage to be in top 6 or top 7 from week 1? Soma left week 2 during his season, and coming back, he tends to have, and I'm like, what is happening? Even it literally topped Angel and a couple of other people as well. And I'm like, where did Soma fans comes from? But I think what's also kind of sustained Soma throughout the season was his personality as well. He's very competitive, it's very unproblematic, and luckily, there is a storyline to him as well. There is the Angel Soma storyline that a lot of people are interested to see how it's going to turn out. And he maintained his personality throughout the show. He was also hungry he was hungry. He needed to stay. You would see that hunger in Soma. He's always very emotional. He's always going all out. He doesn't really care about camera or whatnot, And he was really himself 100%. I think that also kind of had an influence on the results and why Soma stayed longer during the show. And kudos to his fan base. I need to say that out loud. Soma gang, you guys really outdid yourself. And I'm not really shocked about White Money, right? If a former winner, a lot of us would definitely expect him to be in top 5 from the get-go. But I don't think White Money was not even in top 8 from the result I've seen so far. No surprises, because the reason why I personally think White Money won in 2021 was basically as a result of Arisers. The whole confrontation he had with Pere, and a lot of people had sympathy on him. They feel, okay, he deserves to win. It was also unproblematic. He just cooked, do his thing, and people believed, oh, he has the best art, so he deserves the win. So, coming up to 2023, and let's not forget there was a podcast that was released before the show started, where he had said a lot of things about, women particularly, and people on the TL and even on the mainstream found that very, very distasteful. I think that can also influence, his coming back on the show, how strong he would have been. And he was where he was based on the results. So I think the events, circumstances, and things that literally happened in the house significantly impact what we've seen this evening. Also speaking on camera, I disagree to a larger extent. Camera time has no impact on the results. If you are strong, if you have a strong fan base, you would stay longer or win regardless. If you like, sleep from day 1 till the last day, and your fan base is working, bro, sis, nothing will shake the results. So camera time, and like people rightly mentioned, it is a show. It's a reality TV show for a reason. They love controversies. They want content. They love drama. If it's not there is no way they will show you. They won't show you. We would say that throughout the show, there were certain persons that the camera were literally put on from the get-go till the last day, because they were seen as very controversial. These people, if they open their mouths, even if they happens to be their fans, you will have to shut down your TV because you won't want to hear what they want to say. Anything that comes out of their mouths is literally controversy, right? So these are the kind of people that is needed for this reality TV show. Typical example, Doyin, of course. Doyin, Sissy, Venita. They were brutal. People see them as very, very brutal during the show. They know drama lives around these ones. They can't control their mouths. So let's feed on them. And that was exactly what they did. So it's all about what can you give, to the viewers to talk about. And that's how camera really works. And camera plus narratives. All those ones that the camera, they are automated, please forget those stories. Production with write narratives the way they want to write it. There is a larger percentage of manual interference with the cameras on reality TV shows. There is a larger percentage. If they want you to see something, that's where the camera will be. There are people behind the scenes directing and monitoring the camera as well as controlling it. So if they don't want to show you something, they won't show it. And why is it? It's simple. The reason it's not even far-fetched. It's simple. I don't want you to see the beginning of how this fight started, but I want to see the reactions so that the timeline and the general public can feed on that reactions, such that at the time the reason comes up as to what caused this fight, then there can be another debate.
It doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter. It's a business-making enterprise. They want to make money.
It's a business.
They want to make money, so they will definitely do anything to drive narratives. So there was a time, Cynthia, if you remember, I think it was even the last week, the Ilebaye Adekunle fight, that there was lots of uproar.
That's the one that was crazy.
Exactly. And a lot of people were shouting.
That was so
Take
obvious.
the camera back to the lounge. Take the camera. In my head, I'm like, you people don't know anything. They are not going to take anything back. Because they know if they take it back, you've seen the beginning and the end of that drama. So there is nothing for them to feed on again. And that's how it works, typically in reality TV shows. Across, the entire world, they literally fixated on a particular scene. And they'll meet certain scenes. You will... And that's exactly what we're doing, and that's what we do during the show on Spaces, where we analyze, we talk, we banter, and all of that. It's because of those kind of situations. If we see things from the get-go to the end, there is nothing to talk about anymore, right? So they want to make money, they want to increase their viewership, and that's the reason why they would definitely shift the camera to whatever they need to shift it to. So that being said, I also think in terms of people's opinions, it's just better for people to come up here, let them say whatever they need to say. I don't really think it's sensible for anybody to come up and police what people are saying. All of us are coming here to kind of express ourselves. People are free, let them come up and say what they need to say. It's only for... I don't really think it's right for anybody to come up and say, oh, Panat said this, A said this, then no, I just really think that's quite, very, very inappropriate and probably unnecessary. If you have anything to say it and get going. So, in all, it's an interesting...
I agree, because and that's the reason why I was saying, because the person was not there to defend themselves either, so it was like it was just dragging.
So in all, it's really an interesting season. And firstly, I came for you personally. You were saying the angel talked to Adekunle, from where to where? Is it not Alliance that helps you people? The angel talk.
But she did coverage.
Because
she did though.
She was making mouth. We went all out in Kumasi. We went all out in Accra. We went all out in Liberia. Fancy, Zukwadmike, right? I'm listening.
I know people are saying that we had alliances. Well, we respect the alliances that we got that day. But I know the fact in Ghana, there's a particular lady. The way she went all out to make sure they were going to universities where they were paying people to use their phones to vote and everything.
No, you guys tried. I'm just saying, like I said, week 1, week 2, for me, still did everything. Well done to your people. You guys tried. All right, thank you guys for having me. Thank you, Cynthia.
Okay, thank you. Panache, you can go when you're done. Moropeda.
Thank you. Panache.
Okay.
When you're done, Moropeda can speak.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good evening, Cynthia.
Before you speak, Pepina, let me just say something. Also, I didn't see Neo Energy topping Perel. That was very interesting. The first round, Neo topped Perel. Okay. But go ahead, Pinach. Go ahead.
Okay, good evening, Cynthia Felsi, comrade. I think I'm going to disagree with a whole lot of things. Like, the show, this is All Stars. I know that they will drive narrative. It's normal for them to do all those stuffs. But let's come to think about this is the first time people are coming out to say, I am not seeing the reflection in this result. This is what we've done, and this is what we've done. And I think people are not stupid, in all honesty. I don't think people are stupid to say, we went all out, we did this, we did that. For example, if I don't know of any fan base, I know of Adekunle and I know of CC's fan base. You understand? And I saw the way a whole lot of things was going on. The way they were voting, the way they were pumping in vote, the way they were doing all those things. I'm not saying other fan base did not vote. But coming to see this result, and And I'm like, okay, is this what the result is? Is this how the result played out? For example, somebody like Messi, Cc, and the OGs in that game. You understand? Even if Ibebai is gonna win or she's gonna top the polls, I was like, the number of weeks she was topping. Yes, definitely going to be storyline, but you cannot tell me that, oh, because people just my writers just pitied you, and the weeks that we have two OGs on board, this is not reflecting in the results. No, we have Spartans, we have Mercenary on board. And I'm seeing the percentages and I'm like, okay, what is going on? This thing is not reflecting people's work, what people have put in, the effort people have put in. Thank God somebody was talking about Angels fans, the way they went all out. To be very honest, I think it's because it has only happened to a segment of people in the past seasons. People are not seeing it. But now that it's okay, this is all stars. Everybody's speaking their faith. Everybody's saying, "Oh, this person, I'm a Spartan, I'm a mercenary, they are OGs in the game," and different diverse set of fan base that know the way the voting process goes, that are experts in these things. They know the way and these are people that have the technical know-how of how voting goes. So people are allowed to say, no, I don't agree with this result. No, I don't buy this result. Because I know that we're trying to tailor the conversation to be very prim and proper and ideal. Yes, I get it. But the truth about it is that personally, I don't see the effort of people in this result. My effort as a voter, I had a voting center in my house, in the old building. I know the way people went out in all the old 36 states. And I'm not even talking about people outside this thing. Coming to the statistics of saying, oh, we got 1.5 billion result or whatever the numbers of results they say they had, and saying these statistics, something is wrong somewhere. We can't just say, oh, something is not wrong anywhere. Something is wrong. We can't just shy away and say, oh, okay, everything is all well and good. Something went wrong with this result. And
Mm,
I would,
Panache, just sorry to interrupt you, right? But
yeah,
even Fight Money was a winner. Like
yeah.
he's an OG and a
Mhm.
winner. But all everything that we've seen on the chats shows that people weren't really fucking with him. Pardon my
Mm,
French. People weren't really
yeah,
oh fucking with him. I'm still gonna use it. Like
yeah.
like that, right? So I mean, in as much as they are OGs,
Mm-hmm.
when when people are rise for you, they go all out, right? Like
Yeah,
they do there's power in numbers. Let's not forget that, right?
yeah.
So if
But
people are rise for you, they would want to
but
you know,
Kelsey, don't forget that out of all the history of all winners in Big
mhm,
Brother, you understand, white money fell short. A lot of people, because of that podcasting that happened, he had a particular perspective to him. Even when he appeared on the show and people are saying, "Oh, white money and whatever," you understand. Even we know say with this one, like because the majority of people on his fan base were women, and after that podcast, a lot of things went down. Look at the technicalities because it's Space 7L this afternoon. A lot of the people that stood by white money were not on that fan base anymore. He lacked a lot of technicality on his team. He lacked it. And that is when they call you an OG fan base. You should have technicality, you should have money, you should have that criteria when they call you OG. You get what I'm saying? But White Money was only the person that I didn't see him as OG, and that was because he won by risers. You get what I'm saying? So it's easy for people to leave him. Like now, for somebody like Messi had the storyline with Sacha. You understand? That will make people stick with that through thick and thin. The same way people are sticking with Sacha through thick and thin. The same thing with Alex, Sisi, and Toby's situation. Spartans will stick with Sisi through thick because it's a storyline. For White Money did not have any storyline that will make people stick with him through thick and thin. Let's be very sincere. He was cooking, he was doing this thing, he was doing you understand, he can cook, he can clean, you get what I'm saying? He was very homely. And people could relate. Nigerian women could relate and see, okay, this is a potential son-in-law, this is a son, this is a child. So all those people that made White Money Gang, most of them were not on that fan base. That's if you listen to that space that happened this afternoon, you will know that a lot of the core people that owns the fan base, you understand, moved to other fan base. You understand? And I don't blame them because they were saying, oh, this person is my first love. This person is my first love. In all honesty, and the same thing, there were some people that if they were not on CC's fan base or Messi's fan base, that fan base will not be called a fan base. You get what I'm saying? So for White Money Zone, everybody knew, everybody saw it coming, everybody knew that he won by Arisers. Everybody knew. So for White Money Zone, I didn't expect too much. But this, we're talking about people that have a structure on ground. Even if you want to win or you are topping the chart with people that you don't know, like put the
Okay, Pinach. Okay, hold on, Pinach. Who amongst this here that is making you feel like shouldn't that the result is wrong? Who, you mentioned that White Money was expected. So which one are you talking about? Who are you
But
talking about? Can you be specific?
yes, I'm talking about people like Messi and CC. I'm telling you, the percentages I'm seeing on during the past weeks, yes.
But they topped the first week. Okay, you
No,
mean
no,
okay?
no,
Okay,
since
you're talking about 15%, 11%. You say it's
yes,
not enough.
yes,
Okay.
and let me tell you, Cynthia, the way you are, look at the old total percentage of BBM stands. You understand? If you want to take people's standship per share, you understand? Like, okay, this percentage belongs to CC, this percentage belongs to this thing. I am telling you, you will see the numbers.
Okay,
That
I think the reason why the numbers, okay, what you're saying is like, for instance, in like a season like other previous season, the first round the percentage was even more higher than an all-star season where we are seeing
you get,
heavyweights having 15. Okay, now
yeah,
the reason why the percentages are like that is because they are bringing everybody that has different fan bases, everybody that are strong together in one. So it now, like, it creates an atmosphere where it's a limited amount of people and you have to pick one person, so that's why you're not getting, it's tough, it's a tough lineup. That's why you're not seeing 20%, 30%. The lineup is tough.
Aside the
Everybody is
lineup,
a
Cynthia,
heavyweight.
and the number of housemates as
The
well.
lineup is tough,
The number of housemates as well.
that are
Yeah,
up again.
I think there were about 20
Exactly.
something of them.
That's why it's
Yeah,
low.
so it's low. Then Panach as well.
Yeah, and they were
You'll be
all up.
shocked that
Yeah.
50% and 11%. You see that 2% difference? It is millions of people, millions of viewers
Or votes. Yes.
That 2%, that 1%, millions of viewers, millions of votes. So it's an all stars. So we will not expect that same percentages, we've been seeing in Level Up and the rest. And the number of housemates that were up as well. It's going to be tough. We have tough, strong housemates in there. Messi, CC, you have Pere, you have Adekunle, you have, it's going to be a very, very tough, lineup. And that's why the results is there. Pana, I understand. You might have personal, opinions towards the result, which is okay. I agree with it as well. I'm not really a fan of the result, like I rightly said. But then it's also very, very important for you to sit back and do some level of self-introspection and say, okay, the result they've cooked, they made it look like it is from the week 4 that the Arisers started coming out, that she started topping. It's just simple. That's just a simple equation. There is no big deal.
exactly my point. The result is tailored. We cannot deny that one. For me, or my opinion, it is so tailored to a certain narrative, and that's just it. So since all those time, I beg, don't let me even talk. Thank you, Cynthia.
Okay.
Can I go next?
No, Miracle.
Guys, need to go next.
Everybody, please mute your mics. Miracle, hold on. Marpada can speak when
Okay, yeah. Hello. Yeah, good day. I watched the whole. I've been listening for a while now. I've been listening for a while, so I just want to say, I didn't really support anybody per se, but I was leaning more towards Libai. But I'm not one that tweet or type or anything as regards that. But I wanted to say something. Naturally, people are going to be sentimental. Like, these are no star. The whole point is to appeal to people. How do you appeal to people? Is to their emotions. A lot of people try to be logical, but then there are some parts that will still eat the emotions, whatever we want to say. Because I was listening, someone had said earlier that people are being sentimental. There's no way people are not going to be sentimental. Because I want to say something. People like Sisi from the first season she was in. I don't think her character was all that. Do you get? But people liked her. There was something people saw in her that made them very loyal to Sisi. There was some sentiment there in it. Oh, she's bold. She can do this. She doesn't give a fuck. She's all that. But then to the other people, she was like, in a way, all I say, her character wasn't something people found pleasant in some regards, but people still like that regardless. Like, and you, most people that like Titi, even up to now, they are very loyal, regardless of how she behaved, regardless of how they feel like maybe her character, they were like, nah, I want that's the person I like. She's bold. But then that character in a way was didn't seem so bold. It seemed like very arrogant and somehow. But then people still like that regardless. Now to this season, I wanted to say that at the polling results, we could see like I think Ilibai was fourth in the first round, whatever. But then some things had happened first because people were like, why is she fourth? Like probably she didn't have a fan base, obviously. Ilibai didn't get to the final. People didn't really she left earlier in her season, 2 weeks or 3 weeks prior, whatever. And then now she's like sort of fourth. Some things had happened earlier. Now, in the case of that being fourth, like this now, look at it this way. Kidwaya had gone, or I voted Libai. Why do you want Libai to go out? We are like lions here. She's like a low hanging fruit. You want to devour, blah blah. Naturally, how do you think it will appeal to people's emotion? Some people can be very logical about it and be like, yeah, it's a game. It's an all-star. What not?
But
How do
he,
you
but he said that about Doreen too, though.
no, no,
But
no, no,
people
yeah,
didn't
but
feel the
no,
need.
but no, wait, chill I'm still going on. But natural, how would that appeal to not? And obviously, the media too had played the role because what people did was like they would just clip that part and put it like, why is he talking about this? I thought he's an all star. Everybody's supposed to be competing for the money. So in that, regardless of how you think of or how you see that person, some part of you is supposed to see that person as a competitor, but you didn't come out and say that person as a competitor. And the Veneta had said, oh, China shop, whatever, that had played the role already. No, 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 it had played the role. People will just clip and do that and run the narrative. Now, the round two that Ilibai had gotten second, Sisi was first, Ilibai was second on the poll, right? What had happened? The tea batch incident that happened. That was for me, that was like even the beginning of
Yeah, the tea
Ilibai.
badge and the Venita,
Yeah, no, that
because
tea
that's
badge,
why
that
me, I
no, the tea
the
badge,
tea badge one
like
and the
when
Lebaye
Ilibai
stuff.
was sleeping with
The tea badge
Neo.
happened
Yeah,
first. Yeah,
when
yeah, yeah. The tea badge, then
yeah,
Venita. Venita saying
that
sorting her
was
parents.
the beginning. That was the beginning moment for Ilibai. Regardless of what people say, like Ike's moment sealed it for her, but that was the beginning moment when that happened
No,
because
but no,
naturally, I thought that was
Ike's moment was the moment when
no wait. I said Ike's
it's
moment
that was the
sealed
most
it. That's why I
significant
said
moment, right?
yes, I know. That's why I said
Okay.
Ike's moment sealed it for her. But that was the like that Ibanez was like a beginning, like it started it. Do you understand? So it's like a beginning, then Ike one just ended it like, okay, what's happening? Do you understand? But because initially when I said I was like, there's no way somebody will do this to me. I'm sleeping and do that. I'm like, you might beat me if you get confrontation now, but I'm going to attack you. Like I'm not there's no way I'm going to allow that to slide. There's no just way I'm going to allow that to slide. Do you understand? But that had happened. Do you understand? And then the EK incident just happened and everybody was like just went uproar and like nah, they're not having it. But then I also want to say that someone has said that like obviously I feel like but the media also played narrative and I think Ilebayetu was also poking. Obviously people will poke each other and whatnot. But I wanted to say that people were like, oh, they didn't really show when she was poking and every I want to say the majority of the fights that probably Ilebaye had engaged in or they had issues with I think most people knew like where it was started. Just some of the incidents people didn't know where the poking started from. But I wanted to say like the T-Bar John, we all know how it started. The two incidents of T-Bar, then the second one was when she hugged Neo and T-Bar just went somewhere like why you not respecting boundaries? Everybody
Can I
knew how that started.
Yeah.
Wait,
Can I
let
just
me
say
finish
something
now.
quickly that I feel like a lot of people are missing that played like a say?
Yeah, can I continue?
Cynthia, I think you're still speaking, but we can't hear her. Cynthia, we can hear you. Morapeda, continue. I don't think
Okay, then
Kelsey, can you hear me? Can you
okay,
hear
we
me
yeah,
now, Kelsey?
can
yeah.
hear you.
Yeah. I want us to just limit because I don't want us to go down this rabbit hole of, let's just talk about, the results and so we can have it. I don't want us to go
Okay,
back to the house
okay.
and, make it this long thing because becomes
Uh,
drawn out. And I
yeah.
think that another thing that I feel like a lot of people are missing that played a role as the week progressed is that coming into this season, people also wanted to support who they felt was an underdog, who they felt that could make the other girls that have achieved some level of success humble. They felt like Angel was wearing two Van Cleefs. They felt like Mercy was too proud as a former winner. They felt like Cece was too confident. They felt like Alex already achieved this. So they were naturally drawn to, there was that element going on as
Yeah,
which doesn't make
there
sense to me,
was.
because literally the Big Brother Niger audience, you guys are the ones that make these housemates into what they are, and they've achieved this level of success. Now they're coming for an all-star season, and you expect them not to act like they've achieved some level of success. So
It,
that worked against them as well as the week progressed.
Yeah, yeah,
But
I
yeah.
believe that worked against them. But then there was also Princess. There were people like people didn't even know. The thing is, Elebaye, within the first 2 weeks, she was also confrontational too. Like didn't allow anybody. Princess was very docile, wasn't even active. People didn't even. I don't even understand. I don't even know where Princess is up to now. You understand? So people didn't even really. But Elebaye was like, "Oh, you come for me, I'm coming for you." Like that thing was going on. I think all of that to help. Like I see this girl, this one that left doing fast, and like that. She was like, "Oh, you come from me." She was also ready to attack you, but until the O2 strike happened and she had to like mellow down and whatnot. But all those played, the whole Venita, like there are a lot of incidents that happened. I just want to say there were a lot of incidents that happened inside the house that we could see the root cause of how it started, regardless of she
Thank
poked people and we didn't see some. Obviously, there was the one we see that we didn't see that she took the whole CC stuff downstairs and nobody even knew like how did the whole thing happen. So there are incidents like that happened. But I want to say that majority of the fights that happened with Levi that involved the Levi, we also like how we started and whatnot. But I was just saying that I
All
think
right.
there was the
Thank you.
narrative played for her, and then she played that game, and then the housemate played the game too for her, and she leaned into it. She was just being smart about it. The housemate, they didn't really see her as a competitor. They put then she laid into it and played it the best way she could. She was just smart.
thank
Thank you.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Because if I'm going to
So
go
let's
by,
have some new speakers, guys. Some people that haven't spoken.
but if I'm
I
going to
don't
go
want us
by
to
what,
keep going around.
if Celia, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Kelsey. Go ahead.
If I'm going to go by what arisers are saying, then I must be a very mean-spirited person because almost, I was vibing to the whole tomahawk, whatever was it tomahawk he said, something about the being a steak. There's a steak or something. I was vibing. I was just laughing about the whole
Okay, the whole they're all meat and prey. And again, what
exactly.
I see that people try to change that, and I don't even like Kidwire. But what Kidwire was doing wasn't an Ilebaye thing. He was talking about people that they perceived as weak. Doyin was a part of that. But for some reason they started to make it into this someone is red meat. I don't know how we got to this point, but
It
it is
was
what it
me on
is.
the fact it was just a way of him expressing himself. I'm confident enough that I'm a big bad wolf and I can get you. I mean, like I can get. I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't see what was a year about it, but anyway, let's move on. Miracle,
Yeah.
the mic,
Let's
when you're
move on.
Miracle, you have the mic if you can hear me. When you're done, the bishop can also speak. Then we can, rotate the speakers here, please.
Yeah, good evening.
Hi, good
So
evening.
I've
Hi.
been listening. I've been listening on the space for quite a while now, and I just wanted to speak on some certain issues that has come to light, and I'll try as much as possible to go by chronology. Number one, I think there was a Mercy fan coming to speak at some point, and I'm not necessarily rebutting. I'm just speaking towards what she said. She had said that the camera time Mercy was getting was in some specific way probably doctored. And I think that when you look at it in real time, I don't think it's very, very easy the way we are trying to allege for you to doctor something that is live. You understand? Everything is happening in real time. I'll give an example. If you watch football and there is the camera on the goalkeeper, there's the camera on the coach, there's a camera on the crowd, and there's a camera on what is actually happening. You understand? Sometimes you miss the reaction of the coach. Sometimes you miss the reaction of the referee. Sometimes you miss the reaction of the goalkeeper behind. But in essence, what you need to understand is the camera has to follow the person moving. the narrative, the spotlight. And that's why when you start the show, there is something called fishing. And this is just me speculating, but I think you can also speculate based on logic. So when you have the show starting, at the point of starting, beginning of the weeks, the first week 1, week 2, I think they are fishing for what I might want to, allege as a narrative or someone with the spotlight. You understand? So for someone like Mercy, at the first 2 weeks, I don't think she did much to earn the respect from. Let me not use respect. That's a very loose language, but I don't think she did enough to earn the spotlight in terms of the narrative being driven. And even when the camera would come to her, she was with Fraud. Personally, and I say this to even my friends and my sisters, and I'm like, I think Fraud was Mercy's downfall, because all he was doing to her game was just making her fry Indomie and fried chicken. But anyway, let's not go into all of that. That's also just my opinion anyway. Bro, in essence, when it comes to Mercy, at that first 2 weeks, she came in as the winner, queen of highlights. For me, I was looking for her, to be honest, because I've not watched this, like my second season actually following the show. So I've never watched Mercy, but she has that street vibe, I'm the queen of highlights and stuff like that. So now back to my analogy before. So let's say Mercy was the referee and she's not doing anything, she's just doing what is required of her. I wouldn't expect the camera to shift to her unless she does something outrageous that brings the spotlight towards her. And I'll give an example to people talking about spotlight and talking about the camera being authored. If you're boring, you're boring. Good example, when we started to see Cross, even on the last week, and apologies to Cross's fans here, but it wasn't still given, to be fair. And he started getting spotlight, started getting the camera time, but it was not still given. So let's not get into a habit of making excuses for the production. First of all, I think MultiChoice, those guys, they have a whole lot to lose, especially when it comes to their integrity. This is a 20-year plus business they've been on. They've done Big Brother for the longest time. They've also done other shows subsequently away from the franchise. And they've been able to build a solid reputation. Number 2, there is an independent referee, Deloitte. If you Google Deloitte is a very, very big accounting firm, notoriously known in the world for all that they do and all that they are able to enforce. So I don't think Deloitte will put their own reputation in terms of their trading and their clientele away from Big Brother on the line on some 120 million naira. In terms of dollars, that's not even up to 0.5% of what they make annually. So it's important, in as much as we speculate based on logic. And finally, I just wanted to just speak on the fact that someone mentioned about the diaspora and their influence. Personally, I'm in the diaspora too, and I think we shouldn't underrate the effect of the contribution. In essence, it might not be the majority votes, but it might just be the extra 2%, 3%, 5%, which actually brings you towards the prize, which is very, very important. Because and a lot of us were in the habit of thinking Big Brother is won on Twitter, forgetting there's Facebook, there's TikTok, there is, especially now, even just the guys who just, when you watch the show and you actually read the comments down there, I don't know where the comments come from. And then you go through like
but the Facebook comments are always so delusional though. They literally say what isn't happening. So I don't do the comments on the TV screens, like something will happen and they're saying something totally different from what we just watched. So Facebook, I'm kind of like shaky on Facebook. I'm not gonna lie.
No, but yeah. That's a subject. That's very subjective. But I'm just speaking to their influence in terms of their voting. That's what I'm speaking to. Definitely, maybe they all have their own different.
Oh, okay, voting. Okay, yeah.
Speaking to just the voting, the effect of their voting, I think they actually pull the majority in terms of that demographic. You understand? And personally, I think my sister was telling me that from the start of the show right up till now, I don't think anyone has lost on Facebook and won the show. You have to win on Facebook first and then you win on the show. But anyway, with that said, I think we should also
Facebook stuff is such a myth, because I know Kosi was hated on Facebook. There are so many different people that I know that were hated, and still won. So that Facebook stuff, I don't know. I don't know.
No, no, okay. We could. It's a good debate. But one thing we will sit down here to also agree is the fact that it is influential, whether or not it comes into play in terms of the voting, the season and afterwards. But it's still very very vital. And someone also spoke about, and also for me, I supported